So let's start, as someone who's always been interested in the founding era of this country, I'm very partial to civics teachers and social studies teachers, so that moves our next questioner right to the head of the line. This is a teacher teaching social studies from the Benson area. He wants to know what's the status of the educational financing bill at the legislature. Picking on nobody in particular, let's start with you, Representative Hansen.
Well, I'm not on the education committees, but I believe that not only the education finance bill, but all of the finance bills, they have passed, a version has passed the House and a version has passed the Senate. The conference committees have met. They've come to some agreement, but the bills have not been passed out of conference committee. My understanding of where we're at with education and all the others is that agreements have been reached. They could be passed out, but they're not, because this is the point where the legislative branch will be negotiating with the governor. In terms of funding, what I hear on education is from my district is on equalization that I represent, and Senator Schoen represents communities that have lower tax base. So when a levy is passed, it doesn't bring in the same amount of dollars that maybe a more affluent district has. So it's harder to go to the levy when you have older community, less dollars there, less commercial industrial. And so we've been trying to get levy equalization. If you remember, 2 years ago, there was levy equalization, but it excluded the metro area. So districts like South St. Paul weren't able to do that. And what I hear from my constituents, and I'm sure you hear this too, is how come it's not in there? Why is it not in there? And then we have to explain why there's kind of vouchers and other things that are in there with a low per pupil aid, and then it gets difficult. I think what I hear from people in the coffee shop is how come the investment is lower. And I had a group of teachers in the other day that were asking these same questions. So this, E12 education is a huge issue that I think all of us hear about, and people ask why are things being done or not being done.
Senator Schoen?
Well, Representative Hansen and I represent the highest poverty rate in Dakota County in the city of South St. Paul in that school district. And the fact is, when people look at what is the school equalization formula or the base formula going to do, it's about how do we fund our schools and keep property taxes down, because you go anywhere in the state, Marshall I'm sure does the same thing as the Cottage Grove, Woodbury area, as South St. Paul does. They continue to look for funds by asking their own voters to raise their own property taxes. Bottom line is the fair taxes, the income tax or the sales tax that we put out into the general fund when we fund education and send it across the state of Minnesota, wherever you're at, your zip code shouldn't dictate what kind of education your kids get. But your property tax never goes away, even if your job goes away. So, that's the hard part. I'm not even sure where we're at in the targets now for the conference committees, but I think it's still less than 2% on the formula. Well, I can tell you for Hastings, Minnesota, that's going to be well over $500,000 in cut that they're going to need to make to their bottom line, and that's going to mean layoffs and larger class sizes. And you could be in Wayzata, and the class sizes are growing there too, and they're one of the richest districts in the state. But that's just the cold, stark reality of what's happening.
Senator Deems?
Oh, thank you. Right now in our conference bill, we have a 1.5 and a 1.5 per pupil formula increase, kind of hoping we can get that up to 2. In the tax bill, we have a pretty good number of dollars for the debt levy equalization, which you folks are talking about. We're pretty strong on that. I think that's going to be, and that's in the tax bill. Also, we have the ag property tax credit for the capital innovations and improvements on the schools. That's in there, so that's going to help quite a bit. From last year's, but from the last biennium budget to this budget, with the targets we have right now, we're putting in about $1.1 billion new money versus what we had in the last biennium. So still, there's probably a need for some more to get some things done the way we want to get them done, but it is a pretty good bill in the way it stands. There's some pretty good policy pieces in it also. I serve on the ag education, or the E12 finance and E12 policy bill. So I think we're on the right track. This is a bill that probably has more opportunities in the other bills as far as if we're going to be improving or spending a little more money.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, just piggyback off what Senator Dames talked about. The ag tax is obviously a big part, what we're hearing in rural Minnesota, but also ag education. So last session we were able to start an ag education program at Southwest State. We have some clarification language in there to help that program grow and just have access to teachers. That's the biggest issue that we have in some parts of the state. It used to be that, it was high school math or a STEM teacher. You maybe get one or two to apply, and now we're having the same issues just for an elementary education person. So, getting those folks with the licensure that are already potentially working in, paraprofessionals that are already working in the school districts, allowing them to gain some of those licensures to help out a district that are lacking folks applying for those specialized positions, and allowing those school districts to be agile, I think is going to be a big part of that. And also treating, Representative Hansen talked about, each kid, no matter what their zip code, and when you put money on the basic formula, and you take away all the different types of things that treat kids different. At the end of the day, each kid's going to be treated the same. And I think across the state, if you're putting $1 in per student, you want $1 per student going to that student. And I think that's hopefully, we could talk a little bit about kind of some districts get a little bit more from the state, some get a little less, and just not expanding that anymore, but at least kind of holding it steady or shrinking that. So I think is important. Yeah.